We receive miracle. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to Faith in the Morning. Something good is going to happen to you today, so expect miracles. Thank you for joining me today. Faith in the Morning exists to help you start your day with faith and encouragement, and that's exactly what's going to happen today. Before we get started, I want to remind you about our upcoming Faith Plus conference on June 3rd, June 4th. It's a hybrid conference with online and in-person sessions. You don't want to miss it. If you're in the Metro Atlanta area, we'd love to see you in person. But if you're not in state and you're not able to get in state for this meeting, make sure you join us online on the Faith Plus app, as well as Faith Christian Center's online platforms. Well, let's get started with our 2023 Faith Family Confession. You can find it in the description on social media, as well as the show notes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Say it with me. Say, I'm the salt of the earth. I'm the light of this world. Jesus said it, so I believe it. I'm a carrier of the glory of God. Today, I will experience the extreme goodness of God. Today, I make myself available for God to show his goodness to others through me. Today, I am increasing in influence. Today, I will see the goodness of God in my life. Today, something good is going to happen to me, so I expect miracles. Go with me to Psalm 130. Psalm 130, for those of you who've been part of Faith in the Morning and you watch every single weekday, you know for the last several weeks we've been talking about the importance of hope and increasing in hope. Now, hope is a force that should be strong in our life. So let's go to Psalm 130, and we'll start with verse 1. It says, out of the depths I have cried to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If you, Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But there is forgiveness with you, that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in his word I do hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is abundant redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. What we're going to focus on in this psalm is verse 5 and 6. The psalmist here says, I wait for the Lord. And just like it says elsewhere in Psalms, this wait doesn't mean to sit down and do nothing. It is to look expectantly for God to show up and show out. It's to look with expectation for the goodness of God and God to move in your life. And notice how he says it. He says, I wait for the Lord. My soul waits. And in his word, I do hope. And as we talk about hope, is positive expectation. And notice this positive expectation is not based on external circumstances. It's based on the word of God. It's based on the promises of God. It's based on the revealed will of God to the people of God through his word. And so the psalmist here is able to get in the word, and from the word, he has hope. And because of the word, he has hope, and he believes that God is going to show up in his situation. Today, as you've heard me encourage you time and time again, don't look for external circumstances and situations for hope. Look at his word. Look at his word. As it tells us in the word, his word is sure. His promises are true. Look at the promises of God. Go over the promises of God. Remind yourself what God has promised to you. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. God is still faithful to his word. And because he's faithful to his word, you can have hope. And like the psalmist says here, my soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. Now, in the ancient times, when you had the watchmen on the walls who were watching the city, making sure it's safe during the night, that there's no invaders, and they were alert the city if something was happening, they could see something coming on the horizon. They were watching for the morning, for the end of their shift, to proclaim the new day has arrived. As they're waiting for the end of the shift, as they're waiting for the new day, they are looking with expectation. They know it's going to show up. They know the sun will rise, and they're looking towards that. And he said here, more than those who are expecting the sun to rise, I look for, I wait for, and I expect God to show up. Now, we all know the sun's going to rise. We even have apps on our phone that tells us the time of the sunrise of the day. We know with great expectations, part of life, the sun will rise. With the same confidence that we have the sun's going to rise, we have to have confidence and hope that God will show up in our lives. So that's what I want to encourage you today. Grow to such a place in hope that just like you know the sun will rise in the morning, you know God will show up for you in your life. Have a wonderful day. Know that something good is going to happen to you today. Expect miracles, and make sure you plan to be part of our Faith Plus conference on June 3rd and June